38 years of policing dealing with criminals puts me in a fairly unique position of understanding how they think. Whilst risk is inherently a guess, we want to be able to ensure that we're doing work it's an informed guess. If you get the risk wrong, it can become a dinosaur moment. Nowadays, AML is the core of most investigation work from policing. I think you'll start to get to understand that not only have you guys got to improve your compliance and capability in understanding compliance, but you'll also see that governments also understand the same problem. The criminals have worked out that what they need to do is fracture the process and become that chameleon that we speak about often, where they're trying to operate in the noise of everyday business. There's still a significant amount of what I call actionable intelligence, very rich data, that's sitting in paper form. We've got to move as quick as we can from this hybrid process. I know of syndicates that are operating that are doing anywhere between $3 and $4 billion a year. Probably a situation now, if you look at a person's name, unless they're a low-level entity or a low-level person who's using a false identity, that in the money laundering space, most of the names are always going to pass muster. So we've got to find other ways of being able to identify whether there's anything suspicious about the activity of those persons. You know, someone that walks in with torn jeans and a t-shirt and puts $1 million over the counter, you'd probably think, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to ask them some questions here, and their actions and their sort of body language might give you an insight. This can't be done at the end of an internet. The timing becomes irrational. The emotion becomes non-existent. You don't even know at the end of the process whether you're talking to a male or a female. So if you can't get any sort of understanding of that process, then how do you understand the risk that's inherent in it? Now, under current AML rules, of course, the bank has to understand that whole continuum. The other thing that I find astounding, and in the police force, I wouldn't have been able to get away with it, but there's a lot of decisions get made on very poor information. I do believe that analytics is the way to go going forward. We have to find ways of dealing with the low level, low transaction, high volume stuff that we're every day getting pestered with. It's a bit like finding needles in the haystack, guys. It's a bit of a waste of time going into a full haystack every time looking for a needle. We need to be able to get many sources available to us to give us an understanding of the pattern behaviour of the individual, because pattern behaviour really is the only way to go forward. It has to be as complete as it can possibly be. It has to be as accurate as it can possibly be. It has to be as timely as it can possibly be. All right? And then we can start bringing it together and working out how these patterns of behaviour work. There is no stronger information and no more viable and verifiable information than the information that's actually gathered from the source.